Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the cheapest VW Caddy in the UK. That's right, in the last video I promised you that we had a new vehicle for the channel, but I never said it was a car. And notice how I say new vehicle for the channel, because I've actually owned this for about 6 or 7 years now, as you can tell by the sign writing that's already on it. So at the time, this was the cheapest Caddy in the country, and to be honest with you, for what I paid for it then, if I paid that for it now, it probably still would be too. This is the short wheelbase 1.6 TDI with about 100 horsepower. And as you can see on the dash, it has now been to the moon and back. I got this van on about 140,000 miles and it's now on 202,000. So it's definitely had its fair share of usage. And in that time, the 1.6 turbo diesel that comes in the Caddy has, to be honest with you, been surprisingly reliable. I know these do have some reliability issues, mainly with the injectors, but touch wood, I haven't actually experienced any of those, but there has been one reoccurring problem. And that is to do with coolant. It's twice now the coolant system has had a fault of some sort. The first time was the EGR cooler on this, which then just dumped all of the water out of the engine straight onto the floor. But the second time, well, this one might be worse. And that's because this time we're not losing coolant so much, but we have got oil in the coolant system. As you can see here, it is not looking good at all. That's very, very thick, sludgy, horrible oil. That is not good. That is not what you want to see. So in my mind, that could be one of two things, I think anyway. If you think differently, please let me know in the comment section what you think it could be and try and help me out. But I think it could either be a head gasket failure or an oil cooler failing, both of which would allow oil to pass into the coolant system. But besides that, apart from the engine bay looking a bit tatty, it's actually been a pretty solid van so far. But as you'd expect with a 200,000 mile van, that is not the only problem. So the van has seen its fair share of wear and tear. It looks like the front grille has melted on here, on the lower section, and it may well be being held in with cable ties. I'm not 100%, but that's just how I bought it, and it's kind of just how it stayed. You can also see here underneath some of the sign writing, there is marks from where the paint previously peeled from pulling off the previous sign writing, and I've strategically covered it up with this nice racing stripe to, you know, just take your eye off it. There is also various areas around the van where rust is starting to show through, on these aftermarket door locks being one of them, and also at the bottom of the doors too. And also on the rear wheel arch, just where that meets the bumper, we're starting to show a bit, well, I say starting to, it's coming through. And continuing with the list of war wounds, there is a scrape on the back bumper where, again, my lack of parking sensors, vision, and maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, I managed to back it into a nice big brick wall too. But at the end of the day, it was and still is a work van, so it is a workhorse getting used every single day in dirty environments where, you know, things like this do happen. It's not a garage queen by a long way. And because of that mentality, it may have been slightly neglected, and to be honest with you, I don't think this van deserves it. I have a lot to thank this van for, because it's helped my business grow and develop, and also helped me do everything so far which I've managed to do on the channel. And it's a little bit sad really, because this is where I started my business from, working out the back of this van. And from that point, we've managed to grow and develop the business to a point now where we have a workshop to work from, which makes the van a little bit of a paperweight. And that's because I have all of the kit that I need to do mobile valeting in the back of it, which means that I don't want to use it every single day. This vehicle is still my daily driver, but it is filled with valeting equipment in the back, even though we don't really use it anymore. And this is frustrating for two reasons. One, because over the years we've had water tanks in here which have overfilled, chemicals which have spilled, all sorts of things have happened in the back of this van, resulting in a god-awful smell. And also, on the latest revision of how my van is arranged, nothing is actually fastened in, so I can pull all the stuff out and in when I need to do it. But it also means that the majority of the time, all of this stuff is just left to fly around in the back of the van, which makes it quite annoying to drive. But I don't want to put a negative light on this van at all, because honestly it has been really, really good. So let's run through some of the positive points now and then come back to exactly what we're going to do with it on these videos. So we have Mark 8 Golf GTI Club Sport Edition 45, I believe it is, alloys on this, which I don't think are the nicest looking wheel in the world, but I got these for a really, really good price when they'd only done 40 miles off my mate Dave's car. And yeah, they work, I think they work with the sign writing. Again, they're not the nicest wheel to look at, but they're nice and easy to clean, which is ideal for a nice presentable looking van. I've also fitted a double din touchscreen radio, which I got off one of my mates, and again, that's been okay, just having Bluetooth audio and things like that, but it was a cheap one. I got it off him second hand, and I think maybe this could do with upgrading, to be honest with you. We can make this better. And also, the same friend supplied us with a new driver's seat, because when I got it, there was a massive gaping hole just here on the driver's seat, which looked really, really ugly, but luckily, as I said, he managed to sort us out with a new one, which looks loads smarter. But again, not the best looking seats in the world, so maybe we can change those in the future. Let me know what you guys want me to do. The van also came fitted with Keep Fit windows, resulting in me being absolutely massive. All joking aside, the winding windows are actually a little bit annoying, but I think it's one of those where the base model of these, you either get electric windows and no aircon, or aircon and windy windows, and this van came with aircon, so maybe again putting electric windows in this might be a good video for the future. But I think we all know why I bought a Caddy. I personally believe they are the best looking van, and also they're supposed to come with VW reliability and over 60,000 miles or so. I think my one has done alright. It was previously owned by Stanner Stairlifts, the people that help old people go up and down stairs. It was one of their service vans, and they did the first bit of mileage in it, and I'm the second owner, so you may still see little bits of yellow vinyl from their old signage over it. But I think we can all agree that these vans have massive potential, and there's obviously a lot of parts available for them on the market, and that's why they get used for so many different jobs. They're used as work vans, most obviously. People convert them into show vehicles, and also people even use them as mini campers. There's just, like always with vans, there's so much versatility with what you can do with them. So that brings us on to the question, what do we do with my Caddy? Do we turn it into a camper van? I don't know, I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you guys would absolutely love to see it, I may well consider it. You know, we could fit a bed with a built-in set of drawers, you know, recarpet it and ply it and make it all really nice and use it like that. Do we turn it into an absolutely show-stopping, completely restored show vehicle? Well, I suppose this is an option, because that means that I would be more willing to use it every single day, as it'd look quite smart, it would be comfortable, and it just, you know, get good fuel economy. It's a bit of an all-rounder then. It does everything quite well. Or how about I do the ultimate mobile valeting setup? Again, this is quite a good option, considering that's where this van started off in my ownership, obviously, and you know, I think that'd be quite doable. Do we turn it into an absolute weapon? Fit an S3 engine under the bonnet, a DSG gearbox, a 4-wheel drive system, and just send it absolutely to the moon and start smoking off all sorts of stuff? Well, maybe one day. I don't think my bank account is going to allow that to happen, because that would be a massive task, but it would be so cool to have a 4-wheel drive DSG 2-litre TFSI Stage 2 Caddy. That'd just be absolutely sick. Back to the more realistic options. Do we turn it into a really nice, usable daily driver? And by that I mean we add mod cons, so electric windows, maybe fit some nicer seats and a steering wheel, lower it down a tiny bit and space the wheels out slightly, and generally tidy up the rough bits. The answer is, to be honest with you, I don't know. I need your guys' suggestions on what you'd love to see, but the one thing that is most definitely going to happen is the back of this van is going to get completely stripped out and go back to square one, because as I said before, it absolutely honks in here, it reeks, and that's from all of those chemicals and water over time which have been sitting and stewing in there, and it's just not smelling nice. So everything is going to get pulled out of the back here, all of the ply lining, the ceiling, the floor, everything under it, and we're going to strip it right back and start again, no matter which option we go for. But I'm actually pretty excited for this one. I know obviously it's very different to what we've done before in the past, but variety is the spice of life, and that means that, you know, we get to sort out my Caddy along the way and have something I'm actually going to enjoy to own and is going to be, you know, a nice addition to the fleet. Then so be it. That is not a problem by me at all, and hopefully you guys agree and are going to enjoy seeing what we do with this Caddy too. So anyway, that's going to be it for this time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on what happens with the VW Caddy, and also on the other vehicles as well. We've still got the BMW 1M replica that's still ongoing, and also the Aston Martin on the channel too. So there is some great variety here, but enough of me waffling. Smash a like on the video and I'll catch you next time.